All right, guys. So if you're watching this, it's because you really want to know what are the main differences between Google Ads and Facebook ads for real estate investors, wholesalers. If you're running a agency or you're running Facebook ads, Google Ads, PC for yourself, then there's main things that you have to know about them and how they make it so different from each other. So the first thing that we're going to cover is the expectations about Google Ads PC for real estate wholesalers and real estate investors. So some of the expectations that we have to consider, one, we have to consider the whole onboarding process. That means that you have to consider the onboarding of getting your PPC Google Ads account, where you first have to make sure that you have a Google Ads account, where it usually will take this whole process about 7 to 10 business days. Sometimes you can make it quicker if you have a plugin template or plugin campaign, but usually the whole process takes about 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks, basically what you're going to go through is you're going to create your list of keywords that you're going to be able to target your ad groups, which are basically a set of, let's say, ad sets, if you were to compare it to Facebook, where you're targeting based on groups of keywords that you will be looking for. So as an example, those keywords that you will be looking for in Google Ads that is in an ad group is, let's say, sell my house fast, right? So this ad group will be everything related to sell my house fast. So it could be sell my house fast with a realtor, sell my house fast, sell house fast, how to sell my house fast, investor or person that buys houses fast. Everything that is actually related to that keyword, to that ad group of keywords is going to be put in there in that type of ad group. So you have to be able to have a collection of those keywords that you specifically want to target. Now, let's say another example, sell my house cash. That's another ad group where you have to absolutely create a set of different keywords, such as sell my house cash, cash for homes. How do I sell my house for cash? Who that buys houses cash? How do I sell my house cash without a realtor? All these kind of things is the things that you need to consider when creating ad groups. Now, usually it takes a process, if you already have a streamlined process and already know what you're doing, on just determining how your market is, and there's different markets. So during the onboarding process, usually you will find that you have to determine whether your market is a very highly competitive area where other people that are spending really high money on PC or Google Ads, such as your other local investors, wholesalers, or iBuyers, such as Zillow, Open Door, OfferPad, WeBuyUglyHouses.com, or other people are actually putting money into here. So we need to make sure whether this is a optimized bid or it's an actual fixed bid that we are trying to accomplish. What does that mean? We are telling Google how much allowance we have in order to bid for specific keywords in terms of their costs per click. Or we let Google to do that decision for us. So building out that campaign can take about 7 to 10 business days if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it could definitely take more. Maybe you can take less than that, but really you can make a lot of mistakes. If you're doing a local campaign, for example, if you're doing only the city of Tucson, Arizona, or just the county around the Tucson, Arizona, then you would find that you want to be doing localized campaigns, right? So where you're doing localized keywords, you're doing localized negative keywords, which, by the way, keywords is another list that you have to actually build, or you maybe have pre-built throughout time where you inject it inside your campaign, and it's going to be to not target those specific keywords. So for example, some people end up looking for how to sell my bathroom, how to fix my bathroom. And all of a sudden they find you. You want to make sure that is removed from the whole search criteria and nowhere ever find you from those negative keywords. That's what's called negative keywords. There's some random stuff that sometimes pop up and could be so random, such as how to sell my mom, how do I buy chicken pad thai, things like that are so random sometimes, and all of a sudden just actual Google just puts you in front of those people. So you don't want that. That's why you create a list of negative keywords. So all of that is part of the onboarding process, basically, where you're making sure that you tell your client or you tell your boss or you tell yourself, this is not going to take a short period of time, but rather we want to be able to take our time to truly build in your campaign. So there's a few things that you could potentially be doing here. Local campaign or statewide campaign or nationwide campaign for PPC. So local campaign is going to be, let's say, Tucson. From the example that we just took recently, we're only going to be targeting based on counties. We cannot target based on zip codes anymore. So we have to target based on counties or based on the city itself. And we have that limitation in Google. Maybe it's going to change in the future. So we need to make sure that we are always alerted into Google's communication, letting us know exactly what is going on with the whole update on targeting and policies and whatever that is, because it happened with Facebook, but potentially happened with Google. So we need to make sure that if it is a local campaign, we have to have the expectation that once the campaign is actually launched, then we will probably have a very high cost per lead. So the high cost per lead is going to be around 150 plus all the way to $600, depending on where you are. If you're in a state like California, you could potentially be expecting a cost per lead of about $700 to $800 or even more. If you're in a less competitive state, let's say somewhere in Arkansas, you could potentially be paying $70 all the way to $200 for your lead, and this is local campaigns. So you have to make sure that the expectations are set really correctly in terms of how much we should be expecting for a localized campaign. And if you're in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, most likely you will see leads, cost per leads of about $200 all the way to $500. And this is a must. So you're paying Google to bring you people that are actually searching and have the intention to sell the property. So that is a expectation that you have to have during the whole onboarding and the campaign creation process. Don't think that it's going to be rainbows and butterflies. Now, if you're doing the statewide campaigns, are probably going to be a little bit easier to generate leads because you're going to cover a higher geographic area where basically you're telling Google, I want way more geography, of course, way more people, but way more geography. And Google basically loves that. They absolutely love that. And what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that you're showing up in your Google search bar and being on top of the whole search query. You're going to be shown in different places that probably people don't bid on. And they're going to try to maximize your cost per lead. Therefore, you're going to be maximizing your cost per contract. You're going to be maximizing your cost per deal because you're going to a wider geographic area. So let's say if you go to a more of a geographic, let's say statewide campaign in Arizona, you could potentially be seeing a lower cost per lead than what it is actual local, and potentially could be of about $100 to $300. Let's say more so or less around that because it's a very highly competitive area. Now, if you're going the whole country, if you're going nationwide, then you will have a better opportunity of actually finding better cost per lead, better cost per contract, better cost per actual deal. And why is that? Because now our geography is way larger. We're going to show it in places that probably you've never done business on. But here you want to make sure you're very careful because you might get places that are very outside of areas that buyers can actually buy. For that reason, you should be able to have a very specific disposition process in order to make sure that you can move this property, sell it to another buyer, and be able to make an assignment fee or be able to actually move this property and make money, monetize the property because there's going to be a buyer for it. If there's no buyer, it's going to be very hard. That's why whenever you go nationwide, you have to do your lead cost analysis of areas depending on where they are. That's counties or IP areas, IP addresses, whatever that is. And you have to be able to, over time, be able to filter down in multiple states, multiple counties, but you got to be able to filter down those areas with nationwide targeting. So nationwide targeting is a really great opportunity to have lower cost per lead. That's 100% something that a lot of our clients that are generating consistent low cost per lead on Google, I want to say from $40 all the way to $100, and they are having a very low cost per deal. So high margins, high ROI. You're going to find motivated sellers all over the country, and they have a very specific disposition process, which actually it can actually be helped using Investor Lift. And that's also something that I will talk in another episode or another lecture about motivated inbound digital marketing. Okay. Now let's talk about the actual mindset of the expectation that you have to have with motivated sellers coming from Google Ads, Google PPC. And these are expectations that you have to have before ever running your campaign, releasing your campaign, turning that on. So what's going to happen with Google PPC ads, Google PPC leads? These leads are probably coming in with very high motivation. You're going to go through different situations. You're going to see situations that are messed up that you're going to be able to help as a real estate investor, wholesaler. But also, since they're actually doing a Google search, they also have the capacity to see other competitors. What does that mean? So whenever your leads see other competitors, they see you're not only the first one or the second one or third one or fourth one. At the beginning, when they do the search and they type on their computer, how do I sell my house fast? Or cash for homes, I need cash for my house, whatever that is. There's going to be 4 options, always 4 ads. And this is how it is right now, maybe changes in the future. But it actually allows them to have options, right? Because if you have different options as a seller, if you're in the position of a seller, of a homeowner that needs to sell a property, I'll be like, okay, this is great. I have options. This is absolutely great. So I'm going to fill this one out. I'm going to fill this one out. I'm going to fill this one out. and see what happens. See what type of offer do I get. See what type of response. Whenever motivated sellers that are going through painful situations, you want to talk with someone that really gives them the best offer. So you need to be able to elevate your sales and consultancy skills. So in here, you're coming in here in the call, leaving an everlasting impression and making sure that you differentiate from others in terms of value. So it's going to be a value-driven conversation. So the mindset is that they could potentially be seeing other people, that potentially there's competition giving them offers, but also you need to make sure that you're the first one that they talk to and the first one that they like. Because usually people will do business, and this is data, 74% of the time with people that they speak the first time and with people that they love to do a business with, which means that people that they like. So you have to be that person with Google PPC, because you will have that slight edge by having a very fast follow-up, very fast approach to getting them on the phone and having conversation. And of course, you have to be a very great person on the phone, understand their situation, making sure that you build the rapport necessary and you dive into that motivation and understand that motivation, which is going to be your ammunition to be able to get a good deal for yourself. However, not everything is going to be a wholesale deal. Not everything is going to be cash. So what you can do 100% is that you are going to make sure you give them the best option possible. You can do this by creative financing, subject to seller finance, many other different type of avenues that are out there and that you can use in your toolbox in order to give them a solution. That is 100% something that you have to do. Another thing that I want to be able to talk is the follow-up. You have to be very fast. So with these people, you have to be very fast. With these people that are coming in from Google PPC, you have to be the first one. So you have to call them right away. The level of urgency is high, is huge. You have to make sure that you're the first person that you ever talk to and that you're that person that they really want to do business with. And hopefully they don't get to talk with anyone. You can lock up that contract right away, use your best sales and follow-ups, and call them immediately, within seconds. I'm talking about within 5 seconds, 30 seconds of the lead coming. If the lead came outside of, let's say, your regular working hours, that's fine. I know that you can pick up the phone while you're eating and call them, but if that's not happening, you have to make sure that the follow-up systems, the follow-up processes through automation are set in place. Or you also have team maybe from outside of the world, outside of the country, where they're working in different time zones and they can pick up the phone call for you and they can be able to transfer you as a live transfer or book an appointment, talk with this person, be that person, the first person to talk to them. When I talk about automation and follow-up systems, you can rely on SMS marketing, email marketing, voicemail drops, which is RVM, and you can also just do calls, having a lead manager, a call center, someone that is going to talk and call your leads. The delivery of this, remember, since this has such a high cost per lead, whenever you're doing local ads, Google for real estate investors or wholesalers, then you have to be very patient. You have to make sure that you put at least $3,000 bare bones minimum whenever you're doing local ads. Sometimes some markets require $5,000, but since it's going to be such a high cost per lead, do not think that you're going to get a lot of leads. Do not think these leads are going to be very fast to come in, because there's a learning process, a learning curve in Google on really making sure that it gets the right individuals. Okay. So one of the things that you also have to make sure is that when leads are coming in, your website converts. It is so easy to navigate. It is so easy to actually go through your website. It has enough testimonials, enough credibility for them to make a educated and fast decision of giving out their information, because they're going to give you their email, their phone number, their address, and their name, and you're going to be calling them. So you have to have this type of delivery and this type of marketing from your website or from the landing page that you have created. And if you don't know how to create a landing page, that's fine. There's different out there freelancers or people that are experienced with landing page funnel creation that will do landing pages that convert well. A landing page that convert well is going to convert from 20 to 45% on Google. And that is a very good high conversion, especially whenever you're doing nationwide campaign or statewide campaign. Maybe the conversion with local advertising might be a little bit less, but it's something that you still have to take care of. So your landing page and the whole workflow, the whole flow of the funnel that you create for whenever this leads obtain into your funnel, into your landing page, needs to be great. You need to make sure that it's fast, quick, and easy. Another thing that you have to understand is that you have to be turning into a sales animal. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it is a referral. that comes in, you have to be your very best at your sales. Yes, referrals are the very best being the lead, okay, that you ever want, because they could potentially trust you already because of another person that already did business with you. You still have to sell yourself. You still have to be able to show them how you're going to service them, and you're going to be committed to their success of selling their property fast, no hassles, no repairs, doesn't need to go through a realtor, and many of the positive things that you have as a real estate wholesaler. So I want to go through this guide that I actually created here at some point. I want to share with you, and I'm going to kind of read through it and show you the things that Google AdWords PPC for wholesalers and real estate investors is all about. Let's check it out, guys. Here, using Google AdWords PPC to get more deals, more leads. So Google AdWords PPC is the juices of the leads out there. Apart from it is basically an SEO lead, but you're paying for it. So you're actually giving Google money to pay to be in front of these people in the search bar. You're shortening the time frame it takes you to rank and pay in Google to show your listing on top. So PPC leads are the hottest of the leads. They usually come in highly motivated and ready to sell now. You have the true speed to lead here. You have to have the true speed to lead here. If you don't get a hold of this person fast, I'm sure your competition will. That is 100% has happened so many times where we called maybe 2 days after or 24 hours after where we're supposed to call them, and it's already sold or they're already made an agreement with someone else. So these leads are highly motivated, therefore they're not loyal. They are at least 3 more paid Google Ads listing below you or above you. And if these homeowners need to sell fast, then they sure will want to work with the first one that they like and they get a hold of. So I'm going to give you an example. Need to sell my house fast. So if I go on Google and I search this, I'm going to find different ads right here. The Buys Guys, Florida home buyers, offers property buyers today. This one was able to actually get this right here, the full menu, which is good for him because it gets more real estate. It actually gets more space for your Google ads. And then it comes to SEO and Google Map Pack. Actually, Google Map Pack comes in first, but this one looks like it's in a good position. So let's go back to this. You need to be able to have a page where these leads land and that is easy to read. Understand that the lead, the prospect, okay, they're going to submit their property information in a quick manner. So they need something slick, functional, fast. Also, speed to lead. Make sure to connect your Google Ads submissions to a great follow-up mechanism or mechanics found in different CRMs. So these are customer relationship management softwares, and you're going to send a quick follow-up and announce that a lead has been generated. You're going to get announced so that you can call within 5 seconds. Yes, that fast. You have to do very fast. So you are going to use high quality keywords such as I need to sell my house fast, then add the text we buy houses in location in the ad title. That's one example of ads that you can actually do. You need to match the keyword with the ad title. You also need to match the ad title with the image. This will increase the click-through rate of your ad. Okay, so for example, right here, this one says, sell your home hassle-free, no obligation cash offer. Just talking about his services, what he's able to do for them. And of course, they were able to actually put 4 pages. They were able to put 4 pages off their website right here. The other one, this one says right here, number 1 home buyer in South Florida. This one says right here, sell your house fast, great cash offers. This one is not like the most enticing offer. Potentially, if I were to say which one would be faster, easier, and better, will be this one and this one because his offer is not the best. Now let's see the other ad copy. We buy houses, pay top dollar, and close on your timeline, sell your house in any condition. That makes it much better, but it doesn't mean it has a better ad copy than this one. So ad copy is also important. So that is one thing that you have to know about Facebook Google Ads PPC. So here are some numbers that I updated at the beginning of this year about running Facebook ads and Google ads. And these are the numbers that I'm going to go for. So seller leads are usually going to be expensive. You're going to expect that seller leads using ads or Google ads usually are a little bit more expensive per lead than cold calling, SMS marketing, or any outreach method because people are coming to us. Just think about it that way. If people come to us, wouldn't you pay more if it costs also more? Definitely yes. So Google ads, you have to be able to put $3,000 minimum on ad spend, and that's bare bones. And maybe expect that you get 3 to 12 leads per month with that amount on a local market. If you go higher, you go a larger geography, then you would expect a slightly more, could be much more, depends on whether you do nationwide or statewide. But you have to know that Google ads, seller leads are expensive for motivated sellers, for wholesaling businesses. Facebook ads, compared to Facebook ads, you could get with $1,500 or $1,800. 10 to 40 leads per month. So high motivation doesn't always come with the best wholesale deal. You're going to notice that a lot of these people that are searching online doesn't necessarily have a fixer-upper, something that needs a lot of repairs. It does not necessarily. They have a motivation, but you have to be able to be that consultant that finds the solution for these specific situations. So you cannot just rely on a wholesale or a fix and flip deal for yourself, because not everything is going to be like that. The more you actually learn about creative financing, and for example, I highly recommend people like Pays Morby to learn from. But whenever you do creative financing, you're going to be able to give them more creative solutions, because not every home is garbage. Not every home is trash. Not every home needs repairs. Not every home is ugly house. There's pretty houses that you can take advantage of, because you're going to take over the mortgage, for example. You're going to offer for them to be the bank with seller finance. You're going to be able to find creative solutions as long as you have an agreement with them. So don't expect that every single lead is going to be a cash deal. So you have to be very open-minded with creative finance. For Facebook, usually 80 to 85% of motivated sellers end up being workable leads. People that actually want to sell their property, people that want to talk to you, want to do business with you. And the rest of them might buyers, cash buyers, confused buyers, might be other wholesalers trying to bring you a deal, might be just people that opt in maybe to hack your funnel. So you have to understand that. And it also could happen with Google. 42 to 52% of people usually self-book an appointment after landing into your landing page, giving us the information. And then the second step is to go to something like Calendly or a calendar form, and then they're going to choose a specific time that they want to do business with us. So 42% could book an appointment with you. So expect that you're going to have a lot of self-booking, or whenever you reach out to people fast, you're going to be able to book at least that amount. We have also a follow-up system that has about 60 to 70% response rate just with the automation. Imagine if you had a text message, email, or voicemail to do the work for you while you're not doing anything, and then they respond back wanting to talk to you. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course, that would be amazing. So there's a follow-up system that you can create with a CRM with a series of messages that you can start and trigger a conversation so that you have a high response rate. Nationwide campaigns, Google Ads, Facebook Ads are the cheapest, lowest cost per lead, lowest cost per deal, but not everyone can actually close them, because you have to have a really good disposition process that can actually be accomplished with different softwares that are out there now, or different training, or a good list of buyers, and be able to have a really good disposition process, such as using Investor Lift. And there's a link actually for that where we will be giving you, and the link will be given right there, and you can use Esteban 101 as a code that will basically give you a discount on that. Also, Esteban VIP works as well. Just to finalize for this, you have to understand that Google is more expensive. You can also do SEO, which is free leads in quotation marks, but Facebook ads work really well. Whenever you combine these two together, it's going to be one of the best things that you can do. And that's about it about everything from Google. And we have finished the expectations about Google Ads. Maybe there's some things here and there that I might have missed. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know, write them down in the chat below, and we'll see you soon.